Now, you want to start in the film industry and you are a generalist. You tried everything, anything from camera, scripting, directing, presenting, the whole shebang. But when do you move from generalist to specialist? We unpack this in this episode of Filmworx Fantastic. When I started in this industry, I started as a TV director. What an incredible experience starting at that level. But eventually moved into the feature film industry and touched on the production office, moving my way through the assistant directing sequence all the way to first assistant director. Man, I even had experience in acting in international TV shows, being a TV presenter on an early morning TV show for an Afrikaans channel. It was such a delight and gain experience on every one of those levels. Now, for me, that just honed my skills constantly to become a better director. By working in each of those departments, I learned even how to do proper makeup, make sure that my audio levels are always on point without any distortion, making sure that my cast is comfortable and get exactly from what I need. I even know the focal length of camera lenses to understand whether I'm in a close-up or in a wide, and relating my performance accordingly. But this kind of knowledge and experience really only comes from working with a bunch of specialists, sharing their knowledge and telling me what they've learned across these years. And I'd love to think about the fact that maybe I've already become a specialist, but to be fair, here at SA Filmworx, even today, we still pretty much do everything when we go out filming: audio, camera, the whole shebang. So what changed? A recent conversation with a cinematographer friend of mine, and he said something down the lines of he can't remember the last time he put a lapel microphone on a talent that featured in front of his camera. It struck me that that's so true. For the environment where he works, which is mostly narrative, he doesn't need to be working with audio. He's a visual specialist, and all the sets where he goes to, there will be a sound engineer focusing primarily only on sound. He only gets a feed, but a separate recording is being done by the sound department. Each of those departments being super duper important, and thus making the production go exactly as it should. But bear in mind, these narrative production sets normally has bigger budgets, which your run and gun filmmaker that needs to do pretty much everything doesn't necessarily operate in that same market. So the decision lies, where are you operating? For us at SA Filmworx, yes, even though a lot of the components that we do the audio, we do the camera, the lighting, but we always have support from a specialist production office making sure that we succeed on the ground, whether it is making sure that we are on time. So all those pre-production components and even the post-production components are already taken off our shoulders. And it often happens that we have a very, very well-educated production specialist making sure our hands are strengthened. But in each of these areas are definitely pros and cons. So let's touch on the cons first. Now, being a specialist means you are delving deep into a specific field and really communicating to everybody, this is what you do. And with an ever-changing film industry influenced by components like AI or even external components like funding, it is very easy that the whole world shifts on and maybe your specialist field isn't necessarily as needed as it once was. The pro of it, though, is because you are such a specialist, you can create an income for solving more complex problems, which means that you are paid more for solving those complex problems. I know, for instance, first ADs on international sets are a very rare commodity at running that massive set and also creating an incredibly tight schedule. But the pros and cons for the run and gun type of generalist, though, is that yes, that person needs to film, audio, make sure that everybody is on the right time, and so much. The risk of something falling through the cracks is so much more. However, the pro of a generalist is that they are much more agile. As the industry evolves and changes, they evolve and change with it without having to require additional crew that need to move with them. So the decision is over to you. Maybe you need to just expand your specialist field and make sure that you are knowledgeable of other areas as well, or make sure your research is constant and that you make sure that your specialist field is also evolving as the industry evolves. And for the generalist, I really want to make sure and remind you that you need to evolve as well. Even though you are very nimble, don't just get comfortable. There will always be more opportunities for you, but you need to be sure that you learn new techniques and stay ahead of the curve. So let's keep evolving together. Let's make sure that we find the things that we like, the areas that we are amazing at, and make sure that even though we are specialists or generalists, we keep on growing in those fields. Keep it up, guys.